so we can get this coffee hour underway.
Yes.
I already finished my coffee. It's been an early morning for me. Actually, that's a lie. I actually slept in today.
What, till 6?
No, I got up at 7:15.
Wow.
My mother-in-law, our Nona, slept over
Mm-hmm.
last night. So she woke up,
Good.
handled the morning feed, and
Nice.
I slept for almost 10 hours last night.
Oh,
Felt pretty good. I didn't realize I was so tired.
wow.
Yeah,
That
first time I've
family
slept like
support.
this.
Yeah.
It's the best. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand how people do things on their own, especially raising
Wow.
kids. That
Mm-mm.
would be, whew, that would be hard.
Yeah.
We are very blessed. How
Yeah, because
blessed are you, Zoe?
very.
Good.
I grew up in a community. I didn't have a lot of close blood family there. Um, However, think it was a time, the times where the older ones in the community, they would treat you like blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was fortunate in that.
Yeah, I mean we're all part of the human family.
Mm-hmm, for
So,
sure.
but yeah, it's sometimes you gotta, for better or worse, I guess, our blood
Yeah.
is always around. Well, sometimes. But sometimes you gotta choose your family.
Yes.
We have
Yeah.
quite a few friends actually that we consider family and they come to all of our events because they don't have
Mm-hmm.
family.
Mm-hmm. You are their family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, Kate, how you doing? Give me something in the chat. Are you feeling a little bit better?
She was a big help yesterday on that call I told you about, and but she did
Oh
chat.
yeah. Your M6
Mm-hmm.
group?
Yes.
Cool.
So she did chat. She was protecting her voice.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good, good. So what's on the agenda for this week?
Oh, so you're going to be doing M9, right?
That is the plan.
Okay.
Yes. Right now I'm teaching M7 today, M8
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow,
Oh,
and M9 in January.
okay.
Actually, no, it's in December. Starts December, I think it's December 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tuesday, December 2nd.
Well, I thought would use this break time to study more and memorize things more so I could be more ready for M9, but I haven't started that process yet.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you you can go in just like you went in the first time, totally
And
blind.
yes, I think that's what it's going to be.
And that's fine.
Uh-huh.
It's
Uh-huh.
set up in
Okay.
such a way where you can absolutely do that. And really,
Mm-hmm.
there is not that much that you need to just remember, like rote memorization. There are some things for sure. Um, but a lot of it, you'd still be better served if you just really concentrated on the concepts and um, on how to think about things. And with
Mm-hmm.
that, I know you do very well already. So if you continue developing that, and then just have your reference materials handy.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all I've the only way that I've done any of it. I've never studied anything in the way that we think about studying, like
Mm-hmm.
sitting
Mm-hmm.
down and actually going through the material and testing myself and stuff like that. I've never done that
Mm-hmm.
with neuro. I mean, I haven't done that really since college.
That's
But
what I was thinking. You kind of like um, have a gift or a brain to absorb knowledge and pull out the salient pieces, at least
that's
from
the
what
key.
I've observed with
Yeah,
you. Uh-huh.
that's the key is
Hmm.
making it salient
Hmm.
and then repetition. And the repetition comes in the doing. So you have to, the quickest way for you to learn something and then forget it is to not apply it. But the best and quickest way to learn something and not forget it is to go do it,
Hmm.
is to immediately put the knowledge into action. That is, that's where true learning happens, is in the action and in the mistakes. Because your brain pays more attention to mistakes. And so then when you correct it, then you really get it more cemented in the brain in long-term memory storage.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because mistakes, and using that word again, mistakes are more salient.
Hmm.
If we go all the way down to the base fundamental level, mistakes are a threat to your survival, right? So your brain pays much closer attention to mistakes.
Okay.
So that's why they say fail often, fail fast, fail often.
Hmm.
That's the fastest way to success.
Yeah. I know sometimes with the neuro, I was working on balance progression and had not yet really strengthened the ankles the way that they needed to be done. And
Hmm.
so I injured myself from doing too much.
Too
So
much of the
that's what,
balance progression?
because the ankles, and I don't know if it was just ankles, could be vision. And like you mentioned to me yesterday, vision and vestibular.
Hmm.
So there was so much shaking in the ankle working to balance that it made the ankle sore.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So just doing too much working to do what I'd learned, but not the minimal effective dose.
Yeah. You may have just went a little bit too far on that
Mm-hmm.
dosage curve. Um, and it could have been vision or vestibular. It also could have been you just have poor ankle proprioception.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but regardless of what it was, you did a little bit too much, and your
Mm-hmm.
brain reacted by maybe increasing some inflammation or
Yeah.
tightening up around that ankle joint.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Good example. Yeah. But I would definitely work on, I mean, I still come from the kinesiology, PT, strength and performance background. So
Yes.
proprioception is a big part of my life. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with the feet and ankles. Oh my goodness. There's so much opportunity there. It's the foundation upon which everything is built, right? So even a little bit of positive change there has a chain reaction through the whole body. Yeah. So it's an important area. Even if you don't have issues in those areas, it's an important area to really map really well. And if you got good moving feet and stable and good mobile ankles, stable and mobile, yes, that does work together. Um, Man, you mitigate a lot of risk for injury, just in general. So it's like really truly taking a top-down and bottom-up approach is like feet and ankles, vision, vestibular. if you only did those things, man, you'd be a much more stable and less pain individual. If you only had 3 things to take to your neuro deserted island, it'd be feet and ankle mobility, vision, and vestibular. I don't know how you don't bring breathing though. Man, that's a powerful one. I don't know. That's too hard. I gotta have 4.
Okay,
I gotta have 4.
4 is
Uh,
good. Because even though I come from the dance world, we used breathing, but it wasn't like really taught or concentrated on. You might get a little tip from somebody, breathe here or a certain kind of way, but I think maybe because of youth, I was able to do those things. But to me, breathing and the feet and ankles, as you gotta have that to
mm,
dance.
mhm. Yep. Yeah.
That's with everything, of course.
Hmm. Kate, it's great to see your face. You kind of look like uh, a Catholic priest. He'd wear like a black shirt.
Not what I want to look like. So I will definitely stay away from black. Thank you for the tip.
Um,
Not my forte there.
it's okay. Um, Good to see you smiling, feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, I am. I think it must be the shifts in the shifts in the thyroid hormone stuff regulating out that actually has me feeling sort of the wonkiest. So I have Graves and they took like 2/3 of it out. I
Okay.
have the right lobe, but they took the isthmus, the center, and the left. Um, but all those parathyroid hormone glands there, and um, I read because I was curious. I keep getting these high heart rate, really shaky, sort of feel like I'm gonna pass out. But I'm realizing, oh, that can be too from that thyroid gland going into overdrive, and it was already hyper. So I'm just kind of waiting for that to sort of mellow out, or I get to my appointment where they'll actually do the blood work and test all the stuff and see where we need to go. But that's been, I think, once I could get the swallowing back in sync and the voice, this is the part that I didn't expect. I expected that other stuff to be an issue. I wasn't read up on this part.
Mm. And you could probably educate me a bit on this. What I assume from the research that I've done into the thyroid gland and, well, really into burnout, um, led me down the rabbit holes of HPA axis dysfunction and how the HPA axis works with the thyroid. And I would imagine taking out 2/3 of your thyroid and affecting the hormonal production of that thyroid, in addition to the massive amount of threat that your nervous system was under, going under anesthesia and then, being cut on, um, could adjust that HPA axis, like that hypothalamus, um, and the amygdala kind of working together, like going, what the heck's going on? And then sending you into a little bit of overdrive. Like it sounds like an adrenal dump in a way
Yeah.
when you're experiencing that, I can't remember how you described it, the words you used, but that ramping up and shaky kind of, even
Yeah.
cold sweats sometimes can happen. That sounds like an adrenal dump, to me. And I'm surprised. Well, I guess they may be waiting just for a little bit of settling from inflammation and recovery from anesthesia and stuff before they do blood work. I'm surprised they didn't do that like
Oh, that's what I said because they
same
did the
day.
follow-up call, and because I was still in the hospital till Tuesday night. My surgery was supposed to be outpatient Monday, so I ended up having to stay because of the not being able to swallow, and I was really having a hard time even trying to um, breathe. There was like so much pressure. So when they called the day afterwards, when I got home, I was like, did they do this at my 2-week follow-up? Because it's only a phone call. And she's like, or do I need to carry the baton and go to the endocrinologist? It's not the surgeon's job. Like, because I know there's so many places where the ball gets dropped.
Yeah.
And the woman was like, that's a great question. I would assume she does it at that 2-week appointment. So like, okay. So what you're telling me is I need to grab the baton and I need to go do my own legwork. So I'm still waiting to hear back from endocrinology to find out who actually does the testing and when. So, but yeah, that is what it's like. I mean, full flushing, like my face will get hot, body temperature jacks up, I get shaky, feel like I'm gonna hit the floor. Like it's just not,
Mm.
and I'll be good then for a while, and then out of the blue, we'll do it again. So, I mean, I'm sitting here with my bag of neuro everything that I
Yeah.
can do in the chair, and but having to keep my butt in the chair is actually making me productive for business stuff. So I'm trying to get the wins out of the
All
suck
right.
fest because I hate sitting.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good for you. Good for you. Do you need any support or anything at
Uh,
this moment? Any
I
ideas?
would I would love support if you guys are willing to hear a thought that is it's it's in its like thousandth iteration since Thursday, but
Mm.
um so mm, there's a lot of things I want to do with this neuro stuff. But if I really focus on what my superpower is as a person and what everybody comes to me for, it really is being creative with kids, being able to gamify anything. I taught all of the kids, like I was their preschool teacher. Do you know what I mean? Like we didn't learn, they all knew how to read before they went to kindergarten. They were all well ahead of where they needed to be. And especially with Owen, my youngest who had the surgeries, he just learned different, right? And I didn't know anything about the nervous system.
Mhm.
So with him, everything had to be movement based. It would all had to be bottom up. Where my daughter would sit there and do crafts and match letters and do all these, right? No, not with him. We were doing interactive everything. And everything had to have like an element of a fun story because transitions were really hard, right? Like all of the typical stuff.
Mm.
So now that I have the nervous system lens, I am now like, oh, you were really leaning into a lot of intuition there and watching body cues because it all makes sense now. So I'm trying to take this into the world of parents where you either have a lot of kids that are having to do home care programs because they're in OT, or they're really are out there seeking services, or they're undiagnosed without a net, really, or anybody guiding them.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to figure out how to take the superpower I know, which is like I can turn any of these drills into 10 different games apiece. That's not my problem. My problem is trying to figure out how are you actually going to get a parent in real life with a child who is struggling in some of these things, and how do you give them the linear path, right?
Mm.
So
Mhm.
I'm thinking about maybe like some kind of my initial thought was like movement missions, kind of like doing all of these things where it was based on dragons and superheroes, and kind of like the line of like safety to superpowers, really from regulation to the executive function skills, working all the way up that ladder and
Mhm.
kind of breaking them into phases. So their first phase, safety, they would learn breathing and proprioception, and they'd really get mapping more of their body. And then we'd get into like that middle stage, like the integration, where you start to really get their more senses. You're putting them together. We're doing things like crawling games, and we're taking the primitive reflex knowledge and we're putting it with practical fun games. Because,
Mhm.
like, if we look at the way kids are and how sedentary they are, and what parents don't get, because they're all being told that you need to buy this app or this
Mhm.
computer program is going to make your kids smarter. And like your generation, Brandon, might be the last generation of people that are ever going to be parents that might have had a play-based childhood themselves, like a
Well,
true
we're gonna
play-based
we're gonna
childhood.
break that paradigm, you and I.
Yes, because yeah, but it
Ask-
scares me, right? Because
yeah.
like parents that didn't, like, I see my oldest is 25, and a lot of his peers did not have the childhood that he had, right? And they're starting to have kids. They don't even have a memory bank to pull from to know what the hell to do with their kids. That's
Right.
like the first time in ever we are so far removed from like people even understanding that if they're outside playing spud and hopscotch and football and rolling down the hill and right, that they're working all of these systems.
Mhm.
But on top, I feel like just pointing out all of the things that they're learning in those is maybe not enough because parents still hear regulation drills or and they want to adapt them for their children. It's like that's great, and I want to provide some kind of system where okay, we have structure because I don't want it to seem too simple. But here are also within this phase that you're in, right? Like taking them through these progressive phases. These are all of the things that you just go and do. You replace 30 minutes of screen time with, you know, some kind of game in your backyard.
Yeah.
But what I'm realizing is you really have to spell it out for people because there's a whole lot of parents out there that I know we're all busy. Like, I get it. And we're also doing a lot of things that we don't need to do.
Mhm.
So we'll just say we're busy,
I'm
and I want to,
I'm sick of hearing that.
yeah, I am too. And even
So
if you
busy. I'm like,
listen to
bullshit.
exactly,
I don't believe
and
you. You don't know what
you,
busy is. Come to my house.
right. Oh,
And
yeah. And
also,
I mean,
like, here's what I do in that, and I, like, sorry to interrupt you because this is,
no, it's okay.
but what I do for people that tell me that is and most of them won't do this, but at least they'll become a little bit more aware, is I make them open up the screen time app on their phone. It's
Yep.
right there in front of you. You can't lie with the data right in front of you. And it's like, how much literal time are you spending on these different apps? And usually there's one or two or three social media apps that are hogging a couple hours of their day. I'm like, there you go. You're not busy.
Yep.
You're on your phone for 2 hours a day.
And
That's
then go
more
open
than
the
enough.
screen time app on the iPad or the phone that you gave your kid
Yeah.
and start making some like delineations here with how much time
Yeah.
everybody is wasting. Because even a lot of the things that try to give sound parenting advice and they're trying to tell their to move with their kid or do these drills like where we're in the primitive reflex world, they're saying, like, we know you're busy, but just 5 minutes. And it's like, I really want to give the big middle finger to coddling parents in that way. And I want to
Yeah.
empower them and say, hey, look, you have time. And I think my thought is from my 25 years of parenting experience is that if you knew what to do with your kids, you would probably do a lot more.
Yeah. I think so. That's part of it
So,
is there's So part of it is, from my perspective, the paradox of choice. There's too many choices out there, and parents don't know what's the right one. So
Yep.
they default to the one that's most convenient.
Yeah. And they're being sold a line of crap because it's such a
And
secular pattern, right? Like it's like,
that's the other thing. So your intuition, your intuition to be a little more stern with parents, I think that's great. As I get further in my career and get more and more fed up with the bullshit that I see in the world, I'm becoming more and more, I don't know if hardened is the right word. I don't think it is. I think the right word is something more along the lines of um
intolerant of BS.
well, yes, it's that.
Tolerant.
Just more firm in my beliefs and less, yeah, less tolerant for bullshit and less tolerant for excuses. And I think becoming a father has actually really helped me in this. Because
Mm-hmm.
as you guys know, I've talked about this before, like I'm a recovering nice guy, right? People pleaser. And more and more I'm starting to own this masculinity that I have, innate, just hiding under the surface because of the fear of being, to be honest, to being ridiculed out in the world because we live in a world of soft men and people pleasing. And this is a perfect example of it. And I read, actually, no, I saw this on social media the other day. This woman, this mother, talking about gentle parenting and the downsides of it.
Mm.
And she made a really good point that gentle parenting is great in theory, that we should, I'm going to use the word coddle because that's really what it is to me. But
Mm-hmm.
being there for their every single need, being there and um, being overly compassionate to every mistake that they make and everything like that. And being very kind of, you don't have to. The argument that gentle parenting people would say is that you have to have firm boundaries, and that's how the gentle parenting can work. And I get that. However, she made a great point that this is not how the masculine, the man's role in parenting works. Men are not built like this. They're built to show up and solve problems. Women, motherly instinct is to bond and be there when you fall and cuddle and regulate. But you have to have both. And men in this scenario have been just confused. I don't know what to do. I I can't do what my instinct says, which is to be firm in the boundaries and show the right way to do things and you know all that. And the way that she said it was like she had been essentially like chastising her husband for years because he's been parenting wrong and he's not being gentle enough. And that's just leading to a kid that's just confused, doesn't know where the boundaries lie, and thinks that they can do anything and get away with anything. And it just leads to more behavioral problems and this coddling effect where now the world is terrifying because they have never had a chance to actually go out and fail and make mistakes on their own, which is how we learn.
Because the
And
world is not going to codify them at all.
yeah, and it's leading to
Well, unfortunately, the world is starting to try in
yeah.
some ways.
So and I say all that because it's another example of this awakening in me of my own aggressive nature, which aggression is how worlds are built. Aggression is how we go out and find food for the family. Aggression is not a toxic thing. It can be, use for nefarious reasons, and it can be, but the dosage makes the poison, right? So healthy aggression is a very powerful and important thing that generally men are more tuned towards. And that aggression and that like firm boundary and that I'm trying not to use the word authoritarian because it has a really negative connotation, and I don't believe it's authoritarian, although you have to assert your authority in these situations, right? So there is a little bit of that. So language aside, the semantics of it, it's up to, for the most part, it's up to the man, or that masculine energy. It can come from a woman too. And we need more of that in this world from people in the middle. I'm not trying to get political here. I'm talking about the middle of everything, right? You know this from the marketing world, Kate. Like the easiest way to get people's attention is to take a stand and draw a line in the sand and do something that's polarizing. Because people are going to go, oh yeah, I actually agree with her, right? And so I guarantee you, there are so many parents out there that need that perspective to just like, hey, wake up. This screen time, all of this is harming your child's brain. It's harming their development, and it's leading to all of these issues. You have to do this stuff. Like, I'm going to die on this hill because I know it is correct. You have to do it. Like, I think people are craving that right now.
Well, yeah, it's almost like the you know, I've been trying to have conversations with people. I've been reaching out to people that I know and that I don't know, or that I know from high school that I just happen to be associated with through other people, but I don't really know them, right? Like I'm trying to have these conversations.
Yeah.
Because I really want to have lots of different viewpoints that aren't just the viewpoints of the people I surround myself with, which are typically going to be the same, right?
Yeah.
So, in a lot of these conversations, what I'm finding is people that have had their child diagnosed, this isn't everyone, obviously, but there's a lot of this really good-hearted advocating for their child, right? They want accommodations, they want all of these things. They're doing the medicine, they're following that medical trajectory, and
Mm-hmm.
they're taking a lot of time in trying to educate other people about why their child needs accommodations or setting them up assuming. I talked to this one woman who was already trying to get disability for her daughter who's like 14 because she knows she will never be able to hold a full-time job.
Ugh.
And it's so disempowering to
Yeah.
these kids, right?
Yeah.
And it's not to the fault. These are really great parents who
Yeah.
are really going through the ringer because they're dealing with a lot of behaviors. Their lives, they can't go and participate in family. They can't go get their hair done. They can't
Yeah.
leave the house for dinner with, right? It's not like they're making this shit up, but they're
No.
taking so much energy and they're investing it in the wrong things. And in the
Yeah.
meantime, their kid's favorite thing, they think that they're calm on a screen because they seem regulated when they have a screen. They don't understand
They're just
what
getting.
all of these things in their everyday life are basically doing that are poison to their kids, whether that's lack of movement or an actual medication, which we can stand on that wherever, right? It's no right or wrong. It's not one or the other. Sometimes it's needed. A lot of the times, in my opinion, it's not.
Sure.
Um, but it's like they don't get to see the gray middle either. They either have really polarizing ends of the spectrum to go down, right? And it's a shame because nobody's out there because nobody's going to make money on that because nobody has a way to monetize just be a fucking kid.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
pardon my language, but I really, it ticks me off that,
Yeah.
you know, we're not educating on the right things. And some of these things that are trying, I think fall short because it's like I've seen on Facebook now, an ad that I keep getting. It's like these cards and they're monsters and it has a regulation tactic on it.
Mm.
And it's like, that's great. And for a parent to use that as a parent and the way kids learn, it's not really practical. Like you need to make that something that they're playing through. Do you know what I mean? That they will understand, sure, dragon breaths, that's a great tactic for using diaphragmatic breathing. But can we put those dragon breaths in all of these different games that we're playing, like actual role-playing fun games, so that
Hmm.
then it's repetition, 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 not like, don't forget your dragon breath card. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually make it the way that kids have learned for eons and educate parents that when they're sticking their tongue out or they're stomping or they are trying to knock stuff over, like they're actually trying to regulate their body right now, guys.
Hmm.
Right? How can we
Yeah.
support them and how can we acknowledge what those innate things mean so we can embrace that instead of being like, hey, get back here, don't stomp, do that again. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I guess I'm trying to figure out how to educate really directly without making it seem too intimidating to do,
Hmm.
right? Because the reality is people don't think they have time. And even when you call them out on it, you still have to then be ready to give them something that's step by step because people aren't doing the stuff I think that it, there's too much stuff that does it for them, right?
Right.
Like,
Are you on Instagram at all, Kate?
I am as something I built eons ago that was supposed to be like a local directory. So if you ever see Shannon's stuff and it comes up Search Burks, I'm Search Burks. I have my other tag to line my other handles for signature neuro, but I haven't done anything with them
Yeah, I'm just talking for a resource for you.
yet.
There's a
Yeah.
couple accounts that I follow on Instagram that I actually really like. Um, One is called Building Brilliant Brains, and I think she is a pediatric ET or OT, and a lot of what she talks about is vestibular training. But it's just all really simple play-based things that you can do with infants and toddlers to build their vestibular system. And I bring it up because I think she has built a nice business through
Yeah.
Instagram.
Building brilliant.
Uh, yeah, let me make sure.
Yeah, that's what it was because I I see you follow it, so I followed it
Yeah,
in the
Uh-huh.
right spot.
perfect. And so I've actually never ordered any of her products yet. Um, but she like essentially what she does is she posting all sorts of educational content that's fun and engaging and then she is giving away lead magnets on like, 5 things you can do with your toddler to help them whatever have more focus and attention or to avoid meltdowns or whatever. And they're all regulation based things through the body and the vestibular system primarily. And then the lead magnet leads to just a bunch of low priced products, $27 here, $47 there. And I would bet I don't know if she has a practice. I assume she does. Or maybe she works with people and kids like directly in some fashion. I would imagine that's how she does it. I don't know. But I mean, it's a basic business model that a lot of people do using social media to educate and inform, get people interested, and then build it out from there. I mean, I think she does it really well. That's
Yeah.
why I bring her up because it sounds like that's what you're essentially building.
Yep. I want to do it for preschool to early ed, like early elementary. So 3 to 8 year olds is my kind of target.
Perfect.
Um, yeah, I really want to make it more than just like, because I think at that age it's hard to be like, hey, just do this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come over here and let's show you what a dragon breath is. Okay, now bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's not, it looks great for an Insta, and I'm not saying that that's this woman, but I'm saying like it looks great in a 20-second reel.
Hmm.
Right. But then as a parent, you're kind of a little bit left to hang out to dry a little bit. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't translate to the real world of parenting, which I think I want to make sure it's really like parents feel empowered and they know when. So I'm thinking like, do you remember those books? Do you remember having books where you were like Scooby Doo? I got them for the kids when they were younger. And, like when it was supposed to be Daphne, instead of Daphne, they would follow along. And it was a picture of Daphne, right? So it was an interactive book. It was trying to help them read. But
Hmm.
I'm thinking about even like bedtime stories or things that are all down regulating drills, that they add these times where like the dragon can breathe fire, like,
Hmm.
right? And then they do their drill, but they're
Yeah.
doing it
Brilliant.
along with the story.
Yeah.
So the parents aren't trying to figure out how the hell does this actually, great, I bought this deck of cards that shows me these. They are actually, it's something that's already part of their routine. So it's habit stacking, right? Like we're just swapping one with another. And we're focusing on something that a lot of parents have a problem with, which is initially sleep, right? And then in that, I can educate about other aspects of sleep, other things to do through the day, because sleep doesn't start at bedtime, right? Like,
Mhm.
but also giving them practical things like those stories that make the drills tangible, I think, because I mean,
Yeah.
kids, once they know something works well for them, they will do it innately
Hmm.
again without being
Oh, yeah.
prompted, as long as there's enough repetition to build it.
Hmm.
So that's sort of what I'm trying to build out the concepts of.
Hmm.
Um, I just keep scrapping one for the other, but I think I've landed on I like the stories and then maybe building like interactive story missions for like playtime based stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's brilliant. Yeah.
Honestly, would you tell me that if I wasn't me? And you're
Yes. No, I
okay.
mean, I don't know.
Well, you know what I mean.
I'm not trying
You
to blow
like,
up.
I think you,
I'm
yeah,
being
I think you
serious.
like me and you want to encourage me. Therefore, I feel like you're being like a
No, you would
family member.
know. I would have
Okay.
paused and I went, well, let me think about it.
Okay. All right.
But no,
Fair.
I
Well, that's
think
good.
like you told me the story idea specifically, I think is brilliant. Put it in a story, have them act it out, and they're all basic regulation drills like to help them sleep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Like you could build your whole platform just on that.
Yeah. I think it makes sense. Like I've put a lot of drafts out there, and how does this actually translate to being a parent? And a lot of them are just kind of like, I feel like they're not practical. They don't work into a parent's life. Like I'm trying to take
Right.
all this habit stacking, all of this wind knowledge, all of this, how do you, so the thing is like, okay, well, I'm hoping parents still read bedtime stories and they're all complaining about their kids' sleep. So maybe we got something here.
Well, yeah, and part of your education on social media or podcasts, however you choose to get this information out there. Like I have another account that I follow. I don't remember the name of it. When it pops up, I will send it to you. So send me a message with your account so I know who you are. Okay.
I'll do my signature neuro one. I got to start getting better at that.
Because I'll send you some stuff to that I'm really enjoying
Thank you.
in this realm. This other one, all they do is carousels. I can imagine them because they're very good. Like their brand consistency is very good. I can see the carousels. They're all black. They start with a picture with this specific font, and then they go into research. Same thing every day. There's a lesson in there. But anyway, the content is very good, and one of them recently was about bedtime stories and how important they are for you to read to your children, right, at night because of how it builds their brain and connections and connection with you, the parents, and everything else. And so there you go. There's your education, right? And then, of course, for you, here's my amazing book and why it's even better than any other bedtime story out there for
Right.
those reasons, right? So, you know, anyway, your education piece, a lot of that is out there, right? You got to sift through a lot of other stuff as well. So again, back to that, taking a stand thing, that's going to be powerful for you. At the end of the day, I think your ideas are incredible. I think the story one especially is amazing, and then incorporating that into playtime and missions, gamifying, challenging kids, right? In order to hold their attention. And
Yeah. And I like the from safety to superpowers,
yeah,
because it really is that regulation through having the ability to learn. Like I believe kids need to move to learn. That they're
yeah,
not going to learn unless they feel safe in their body and they've built all of those connections. So
right.
yeah, I'm excited about it. I just gotta like still a little bit in the weeds, but thank you for letting me talk it through and also giving me feedback and yeah, accounts to follow and just to kind of immerse myself into it will be helpful too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was great. I enjoyed hearing about it. I think it's awesome.
You guys,
You're really onto something.
I need to be because I'm broke. So, all right. Let's end it on that. Woo.
I know how that goes. Well, let us know what we can do to support you going
Cool.
forward. If you want to send ideas and stuff to me, to anybody in the community or directly, it's great. I'm all for it. I gotta run to teach the mentorship now. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think this is great. And um yeah, let me know when your book's ready. I want to buy it for my kids.
All right. You get a free
Love
copy.
it.
All right. Pleasure,
All right.
guys. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.